In the near future, millions of Americans and citizens of other countries around the world are going to lose massive amounts of money and wealth. Meanwhile, others are going to become very wealthy during this same period of time. So how can you protect yourself and your family and set yourself up to be on the winning side of this great transfer of wealth? Keep watching and you'll discover the answer in the next few minutes. We're also going to reveal our secret trading code that has generated a 97% win rate. I'm Eric Holmlund, and on behalf of my partners Robert Maude and Paul Counts, we want to welcome you to this very important presentation. Let's look at some facts. Fact: Donald Trump was elected the 45th President of the United States of America. This is not going to be about politics, and this presentation is neither for nor against Trump. We're just stating the facts here. Here's another fact. Mainstream media got it wrong. Way wrong. For an entire year, they were saying Trump wasn't going to win. And they've been wrong about a lot of other things too, haven't they? As soon as Trump won the election, they started making predictions about what would happen to the stock market. And really, it was only a matter of hours before those predictions began to be proven false. So I think you would agree that we really should not be taking advice, much less financial advice, from the media, right? Still, we can make some educated guesses, can't we? How about inflation or hyperinflation? Many well-known and highly educated economists are predicting massive inflation, so much so that the term Trumpflation has practically become a household word. Now, there are some facts that point to that kind of scenario. In fact, in Trump's victory speech, he said this: "We're going to fix our inner cities and rebuild our highways, bridges, tunnels, airports, schools, hospitals, etc." In other words, Trump's plan is to spend trillions of dollars on a large-scale stimulus program by spending that money on public works. Now here's an even more important fact. The Federal Reserve is already leveraged 110 to 1. We could get into a lot of details about this, but basically for every dollar the Fed has in the bank, they have $110 of debt. You see, this is by no means a problem that Trump is creating. It's a problem that he's inheriting, and it would be the same problem regardless of who had won the election. And by the way, I got that number directly from the most recent balance sheet released to the public by the Federal Reserve, showing over $4.4 trillion of liabilities and only $40 billion of capital. Now, I applaud the Fed for being transparent enough to release their balance sheet each quarter, but this is a very extreme situation that most of the public has no idea about. They're in a much worse position today than they were when the recession of 2008 hit. On top of that, the private banking system is totally over-leveraged again, too. That's another fact. Meanwhile, the Fed keeps printing new money. Again, it's a fact. They've added over $3.9 trillion of new money to our money supply since 2008. So we're already in the middle of a totally unstable monetary situation, and under the new administration, the Fed is likely to print trillions of dollars of more money. And again, that's not really Trump's fault. We'd be looking at the same problem if Hillary had won. But it's the perfect storm for hyperinflation. If that happens, you can kiss the US dollar goodbye and our economy will essentially crumble. Suddenly the dollar could be worth almost nothing. Imagine waking up one day and finding that a gallon of milk or a loaf of bread costs thousands or even millions of dollars. Most Americans don't think it could happen, but it's happened in other countries over 50 times in the last 100 years, and the conditions are ripe for it to happen in America.